Who's this program a great fit for? There are several people that can benefit from the Maintain Your Home program. Some of the people we see taking advantage of this program are doctors going through their residency. Maybe they're going to be in the area for a couple years and they want to get a great place to be able to rent, and maybe they're going to buy later. Um, also, professors who are at a school, maybe only teaching in school for 1 or 2 years, who want a really nice place that they can rent. Why do I say really nice place they can rent? I'm a realtor, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, so I help people rent as well as help people buy. And what I've noticed from a lot of rentals that are on the market, you get a mix of different rentals that are on the market for different reasons. You have rentals that are on the market because people want to be landlords, and that's what they do. So the properties are in really good condition because they want to keep their tenants happy. They can afford to fix the places up and keep them in really nice shape and upgrade it. You have other properties that are for rent that are people who became landlords by default. Maybe they're in the military, they got restationed overseas and they couldn't sell right now for whatever reason, or didn't want to sell. Or maybe a family, a husband or wife got relocated somewhere else in the country. Whatever the case may be, they're not really in the rental business, and their properties are not upgraded and they're not maintained that really well. They have a plan for the expenses of keeping their properties maintained. Properties are not in that great a condition, and they're not upgraded. So you have people who want to live in a nice rental townhome or single family home. They're willing to pay, the little bit of extra premium. I'm not one of those people. I've rented, very nice places that I know would be cheaper if I didn't have the granite, the stainless steel, and the hardwood floors. There are other places that I could have rented, but I didn't want to live in places like that. This is my personal preference. So if you want a really nice rental, you don't want to buy, but you just want a really nice place to rent, these are good houses as well. Becoming a part of the rental program is great because these are houses that we're purchasing that are on the market for sale. In order for a seller to be competitive, they need to have those upgrades. They need to have the house in very good condition. The roof needs to be in good condition, AC, an air conditioning system, windows, the plumbing. Those things need to be in good working order because that stuff is going to come up in a home inspection when they go to sell it. So if they are selling the houses, we as investors, or my client as an investor has cash, is going to buy it. And because of these houses are very nice houses. So you'll see the houses that we're showing, 9 out of 10 of them are in that type of condition. So whether it be a doctor, whether it be a professor, whether it be a family that's just going through a transition right now, maybe they want to try out a neighborhood. Maybe you and your family are in a neighborhood and want to move into some places you may potentially buy, or you want to try out a neighborhood first before you commit. You can rent it for a year from us and then buy it later. I don't know if a lot of you guys are familiar with what's going on in the real estate market, but nationwide we have an inventory issue, crisis, I would say. And this area is even worse in the DC metro area because this area is kind of recession proof when it comes to real estate. It does go up and down. We did have our crash like everybody else, but ours is never as bad as it is all over the country because we have military here. The military is going to have an income regardless of what the economy does, and tax dollars coming in here because people who work for the government are going to have income regardless as to what happens with the economy. And because of that, our economy here in real estate is a little bit more stable. But right now, we've had a couple issues happen. One, the inventory was already low. 2, Amazon just announced about a year ago or a few months back that they're going to be moving to this area. So that made a lot of people who are going to sell keep their homes off the market, which restricted the amount of available homes even more than they were already restricted. So we have a huge inventory issue here in this DC metro area because of what's going on nationwide and also what's going on here locally. How does that impact you, and why would this be a benefit to you because of that? Well, what happens is if you want to go to purchase a home, and I'll give you an example. I have 2 homes, listed right now in Maryland that are for sale. When I have somebody come to me, let's say I have 3 different applicants come to me for these houses. If I have one applicant who has no money down, 100% financing program, another client who has 5% down, and another client who has 20% down, and all of them have excellent credit, guess what I'm going to encourage my client to go with? Now, my client can choose whoever they want to go with, but I would encourage them to go with it 20% down with excellent credit. Why? Because the more money you put down, the more flexible the bank is going to be with the appraisal and with the home inspection, which makes it easier for us to get to closing without any issues. So how, if you're a person who doesn't have the 10 or 20% with a 5%, or you have decent credit, or even not decent credit, you only got a 550 credit score like we were talking about. When you enter our rent to own program, when we go to buy this house for you so you can rent it to buy it later, we're coming forward with cash. And when we come forward with cash, if I have a client, if I have 4 offers, one with a great credit but no money down, 5% down and 20% down, and cash, my client's gonna go with cash. Cash can close in 9 to 10 days. And they don't have to get approval from a bank and go through the underwriting and go back and forth. We don't have to be worried about the bank approving us. It's just whether or not our client, the buyer, wants to move forward. And because of that, we're going to win more competitive bid situations on a great house than you're going to win trying to move forward with 100% financing from a bank. Because the seller and the seller's agent knows that it's going to be more difficult to get you to the end of the line and closing the property than it's going to be to get somebody who's doing 100% cash to the finish line. I got a buyer who's got 100% cash offer on the table right now. It should be getting signed right now by a seller in Falls Church. And when I wrote up the offer yesterday, there's no financing contingency and no home inspection contingency. We don't have to have those in place because my client's paying cash. And the seller's happy because he knows he doesn't have to deal with a home inspection contingency or worrying about whether or not the property is going to appraise. We appraise it ourselves. We're fine with paying what my client is offering. So there's a real benefit to going with us to purchase a home in this environment, in this real estate market, because now you become a cash buyer for a house that you want to purchase, and because of that, our priority goes way to the top of the list with other people who are making offers on this property. You have a better chance of getting a house that you want to get than you would get on your own, coming forward with 100% financing, 5 or even 20%.